Hey folks, David Stewart here. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. The Nintendo Switch 2, does it suck or is it great? I came out with a couple videos a week or two ago. I released them at the same minute. One was 10 reasons not to buy the Nintendo Switch. One was 10 reasons you should buy the Nintendo Switch. Most of you guys, you figured out what I was doing right away. As I was A/B testing positive versus negative content. Which one is the robot going to like more? Well, he didn't really love either one, but the robot liked the negative one about 35% more than the positive one. So the negative one did get significantly more views and more engagement than the positive one, but not in a way. I was surprised how much traction the why you should buy Nintendo Switch 2 actually got. Now, this led to another question. What's your real opinion, right? Because I would say some of the same points in both videos just spun different ways, right? Like it's a big positive. It's Nintendo Switch, but better. Big negative. It's just Nintendo Switch. It's just like a better Nintendo Switch, right? So the same point can be spun in two different ways depending on your perspective. I stand behind what I said in both of those videos 100%. Both of those videos are completely honest. I can see 10 excellent reasons to not buy the Nintendo Switch 2, and I could see 10 great reasons to buy the Nintendo Switch 2. If you want to condense it down into what is the razor, where's the dividing line? It is whether you want to play Nintendo games or not. If Nintendo's first-party software matters to you, then the Nintendo Switch 2 is a platform which you are going to want to buy because it'll have lots of other software you can buy for it too. It'll have good third-party support in general, although it might look better on the PS5. It will be available. They're even going to have Cyberpunk on the Switch 2. So that's cool. If you want those first-party Nintendo games, then that's really a platform that you should buy over some other things because of the optionality of it and because of how much you care about the Nintendo software. So that's really the razor as far as I'm concerned. So which side do I honestly fall on? It's on the buy Nintendo Switch 2 side. Part of that is because I really like Nintendo games and Nintendo software, even if, I wasn't crazy about the newer Zelda games. But that's just one element of the total Nintendo software package. Yes, a lot of stuff from the Wii U was put out on the Nintendo Switch, and I already had it on the Wii U, so I didn't buy it. But it was really good software. Super Mario 3D World is one of the best Mario games ever made. And so, yeah, I would buy the Nintendo Switch 2 in order to have access to the first-party library of Nintendo games. And that also goes with my kids, right? I have kids. There's a lot of software from Nintendo that they like to play, whether it's Pokemon or it's Mario Kart or something like that. Their favorite software, Nintendo games are among that, which means investing in that hardware is probably a good idea. And if I'm going to buy the Nintendo Switch 2, I might as well buy it early in the generation when I'm able to buy it rather than later. Because if I have the money, and I do have the money, I actually put aside money for this, then might as well buy it early because then you get the full value of the entire console generation. Same thing with PS5. If you're going to buy a PS5, like the best time to buy it was probably when it came out, if you could get it, because then you get the full 7 years of software for it rather than like 3 years of software. We used to buy consoles later in generations because they would get cheaper. I think we're not going to see that much in this cycle. In fact, we're seeing Xbox raise the prices of all their consoles and their controllers and stuff, basically because of this big inflationary period that we're now coming out of. We've had 4 years of really strong inflation because of what the U.S. government has done, which has reduced the buying power of the dollar pretty significantly for people here. And then you have a lot of questions over how tariffs are going to shake out and that sort of stuff. So that creates more uncertainty with price. But the main one is just overall inflation of money. That's why the PS5 Pro was as expensive as it was, is because they've just printed a lot of money over the last 4 years. Whereas in the early 2000s, you would see the GameCube come down in price to $100 new, right? You could buy $100 where it was... Things came down and down and down in price over the course of a generation because you got more efficient at making the hardware and things like that. And you wanted to sell more and more and more of the hardware in order to sell more and more of the software. Anyway, I don't think we're going to see a lot of that. So you might as well buy something early in the generation. That's where I fall on that side of that. But I'm really honest about, if you're not into Nintendo software, there's really not a good reason to buy the Nintendo Switch 2. You could buy a Steam Deck and have a much larger library, as well as just a lot more options for what you could do with it compared to the Nintendo Switch or Nintendo Switch 2. I'm assuming that the Steam Deck was a big hit. I'm assuming Valve will come out with another iteration of the Steam Deck, a Steam Deck 2 or something, which is going to be like the Switch 2, right? It's going to be the Steam Deck, but better. But you'll have access to all of that huge catalog of PC software. My Steam Deck runs games from like 2009 flawlessly, and they look beautiful. Like, it's great. And you having all of those options with the Steam Deck and then having that next iteration of hardware, that's going to be a better buy if you don't care about the Nintendo software. It's going to have more options. It's going to have more software. You could use it as a Linux desktop computer. You can plug a monitor into it. I've shown how to do that. You can even use a Wacom tablet. I have a Wacom tablet right here that I've been doing the maps with. That works with the Steam Deck. So the Steam Deck is like going to be a better buy than the Switch 2 if you don't care about the Nintendo software. If you don't care about a portable gaming system, then the PS5 is still going to be a better choice, or the Xbox Series X. Both of those are better because they're still going to be better hardware, and they already have a massive game library. The PS5 has all the PS4 game library, which is massive. Can still play physical games with that PS4 library and things like that. So I think if you are comparing it, it really comes down to whether you care about the Nintendo software or not. But all of the points that I made are completely honest. Now, the razor is really going to be whether you care about the Nintendo software or not. And for me, and because I have a family and there's Pokemon games and stuff we want to play, no, we don't need a Nintendo Switch 2. We can continue playing Wii U games and having a lot of fun with those. My kids still play Mario Kart 8 on the Wii U. We can continue playing 3DS games. They're great. I don't need to buy the Bravely Default 2 HD upgrade. The 3DS version looks amazing, and it's great. It's a great game to play. So we can continue playing Pokemon on the 3DS. But, whatever that next Pokemon game is, maybe we want to play it on the Switch too, right? So that's going to be the question. So anyway, yes, those were completely honest. The negative one did get more traction than the positive one, which is as I expected, but not. I expected like 10 times as many views on the negative one, but I got only like 35% more views, something like that. So it was a lot less traction on the negative one than I expected. It might be because of my choice of topics. It might also be because I released the videos at the exact same moment to eliminate the variable of when they're released, right? If I'd done them a week apart, who knows? Like, it could have been part of the meta that like people were being really negative, and so the negative one got more attention on this day, and the positive one got more attention on another day. But anyway, I just thought I would do that A/B test. Yes, the negative still gets a lot more attention than the positive, but I think with something like this, it was a great way to test it. It wasn't significantly so. I think if there's overall a bigger negative reaction to something, then the negative content is going to get more traction. And if there's overall a positive reaction to something, the negative content does not get as much traction. So you really have to figure out like what's the good word for this? Like the zeitgeist. Where's the zeitgeist for the positivity or negativity about a given subject that you're going to do content on? And that's where you're going to see that possible explosive growth, is where you're queuing into that. Like massive negative reactions to Force Awakens. Boom, I got a lot of views on a video. Positive reactions to Oblivion Remastered. Boom, I get a lot of views for that because people really love the game. So those sorts of things get amplified based on, I think, the overall consensus of what's already out there. And that's a harder one to always put your finger on or to anticipate or predict or things like that. But anyway, leave me your thoughts down below. The short answer is I was completely honest about those, and I think there's very good reasons to not buy the Nintendo Switch 2. I fall on the buy side simply because of the software. That's the razor for me, is that it's not the hardware, it's really the software. I guess that's it. More negativity gets more views than positivity. Please do check out my Patreon down below. You do get a free book with that. And check out my music only channel. No talking, just music. You'll hear it in the background of the right streams and that kind of stuff. So please do check that stuff out, and I will see you all next time. Leave your thoughts down below. Are you going to buy the Nintendo Switch 2? Or are you going to pass on the Nintendo Switch 2? Or are you just going to wait to buy it later? Because there's always that third option, which is like, I'm going to buy it later. Or I'm going to buy it on Craigslist. I'm going to buy it, on Facebook Marketplace later when people are looking to unload their toys after they get bored with them. Anyway, yeah, leave me your thoughts down below, and I would love to read them. I'll see you all next time.